CS2 might have had a bumpy release with performance issues, bugs, and relatively no new content except for the premiere mode, which was plagued with cheaters. Even though the devs were promoting the new subtick system as a better option than 128 tick, it is arguably not true. The new subtick system didn't provide quite the smooth playing experience we hoped for in an official release. Before it was fixed, the audio and visual feedback for a shot happens on the following frame after the bullet was registered, which causes a delay, and this delay resulted in a less responsive feel. Meaning, when you click on your left mouse button to shoot, the shooting doesn't actually happen until the next frame. So it causes that bit of delay. But now with a new update, they seem to fix it. Now you click, it shoots. But with all the negatives the game has so far, can it ever be better than CSGO? The short answer is yes, without a shadow of a doubt. But, and it's a big but, keep in mind that CSGO had a worse transition from Counter-Strike Source, and what we had in the last couple of years was the perfect finished product after years of development and fixing. It always felt that CSGO was behind with all the recent new technologies and what the Source 2 engine has to offer. Just from the visual aspect, looking back at Global Offensive after playing CS2 feels like looking at an old game. Which is expected, since the Source 2 engine gave us better lighting, better reflections, water behavior, and it just feels as if it's getting more realistic. But perhaps the issue that it brought with that for most players is the performance issues. Even before in the beta, since the first days of CS2, players have been complaining about the performance. But with the official release, we kinda get that you need a good system and a good machine in order to actually run the game. Opposite to CSGO, almost any old potato PC could run it, even your grandparents' 1867 machine. But with CS2, it requires better components to run it at a playable FPS. This might be a sign for you to upgrade your PC, so quit being lazy and start saving up. Now, let's forget about all the negatives for a moment and just focus on the positives. 1. We have a game that will last for the next 10 years or more. Let's face it, an upgrade was a must for a future-proof game. CSGO was literally blocking the ceiling of things to achieve, and with this upgrade, we can safely sleep at night knowing we have a fresh game and a new objective. Secondly is the MR12 and the buy menu. When Valve announced they were in fact going back to MR12 instead of MR15, everyone was whining and moaning like a pregnant woman with a bad mood. But after playing it and giving it a fair chance, the Reddit threads became non-existent, simply because it was more convenient and generally takes less time to commit to a game. Though the economy might be a bit messed up, we'll leave that for another video. The new buy menu was just a great addition. Though we got used to the old wheel, we can all agree that the new menu just makes more sense, since no one is playing on the Xbox anymore, which is why it was a wheel in the first place. Oh, I can refine weapons? Sign me up. There are more positives like loadouts, which is massive, but I don't want to take any more of your precious time, so let's talk about why CS2 will be better than CSGO. I'll let the devs do the talking, since we rarely see any communications from them, but in their interview with PC Gamer, they dropped quite the information about the future of the game. And what I mean by quite the information is almost nothing. Because even Valve apparently didn't expect for the Premiere mode to be a success. They said, Premiere matchmaking is now the most popular mode in Counter-Strike, which we didn't predict. Which is pretty fucking stupid if you ask me, since Valve decided to release the game with no other modes to actually play. In their answer to how different do you expect CS2 to look in 10 years, they simply said, we have no clue, but we'll see how things turn out. We should all expect CS2 to look very different in 10 years. Just look at how much CSGO changed. But just as CSGO's final form took a decade of experiment, CS2's future isn't set in stone. Which I would predict that they would do a lot of experiments, adding new stuff, seeing how the community would react, and then it generally will shape up the game and how it will look in the future. Despite the devs sounding absolutely clueless, they did mention the addition of new weapons and game modes, which should bring a fresh air and keep the game interesting in the upcoming years. The new weapons update will be massive, since the last time we've seen a new gun was back in 2018 with the MP5. Adding new guns to the game will be easy with the new loadout system, as you can simply choose which guns to play with. The only problem which Valve could face is making the new weapon not overpowered, because we had enough bullshit with the R8 revolver and Krieg previously, so choosing the perfect weapon will be crucial. Then in that case, which are the guns Valve might actually add to the game? For our top 3 candidates, we have the Scar MP9 pistol and the Bushmaster ACR. Don't ask me why, I did quite a lot of research and they just make the most sense. I would expect from Valve to have something as powerful as the AK for the CTs to balance things out, or the possibility of having the same rifle for both teams, just like in Valorant. I mean, they did pretty much steal our entire game, so why not take a good thing from theirs? But the final thing that will make CS2 truly better is a freaking functional anti-cheat. The game won't advance nor attract more players if the players are literally spin-botting in every lobby without a care in the world. What made the other successful FPS games work is their anti-cheat. Actually, first of all, why is it called VAC Live but it's never actually live? It doesn't work as far as the thousands of reported cheaters in Premier mode, and there's absolutely no communication on Valve's side in the regards of it. So if CS2 was to ever be the perfect game we want it to be, we gotta get a working anti-cheat. Thank you for watching.